Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Steven Universe Future. Last time on Steven Universe Future, we had Little Homeschool. Pretty much continuing on where the movie left off, we had Steven still healing corrupted gems and introducing them to Little Homeschool in Little Homeworld, which was basically a school to teach these newly reformed gems how to live on Earth. However, there was one gem who was having none of this, Jasper. And basically, Steven got into a fight with Jasper and achieved some new pink state. We're not really sure. And he realized that perhaps Jasper could actually help him a little bit. And so, yeah, Steven may be actually training and learning some fighting stuff from Jasper, which is interesting. So, yeah, that's pretty much that. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever, and with that being said, we might as well get right into this episode of Steven Universe Future. Here we go.
Notice anything different?
Hey.
Is she working here?
Yeah, dude, and she's crushing it. Big Spite is an expert at slicing and dicing, so now she can put her skills to use in the pizza shop.
Cool. What was it, Bixba?
All clear, my mayor.
Tuh. Oh, the rubies.
All clear.
The rubies work for the mayor. That makes
Ruby's in your
sense.
program too?
Yeah, and these two are Nanafoi's new bodyguards.
How many other gems are working?
That
in
makes
Big City?
sense.
Glad you asked.
Basically, repurpose them.
Hey!
Damn, Amethyst has been busy.
Snowflake Obsidian and Little Larimar found some ice-related jobs on the boardwalk.
Oh. Like she's giving them all stuff based on their previous occupations.
Ice gems doing ice stuff, pilot gems doing pilot stuff, guard gems doing guard stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't that exactly what they were doing on Homeworld?
Human screams are my favorite of the Earth's delights. I want to hear the human screams forever.
That's
Okay,
creepy.
Kinda troubling.
Yeah.
Heart's in the right place. Can't wait to see how everyone learns and grows outside their comfort zone.
This is gonna be a
But until
disaster.
then, I guess my work here is done.
Yeah, no, that's not the end of the episode. Everything has gone to hell. Oh, she knows it would go wrong. She knew it!
Hit me with another.
I'm so sorry.
Well, I'm glad you've come around. because
Yeah.
We've got our work cut out for us now.
Yeah. We can figure this out now. Oh. Man, Fusion has gotten a lot easier. They're really not doing any dances or anything.
Give me a second!
Oh. Whoa.
Whoa, cool!
Turn into the Flash.
Gotcha!
It's the pink state. She's so much faster now.
Now time to stop that roller coaster.
Nope. You could only keep that for so long.
Well, sometimes you save all the people, but the roller coaster still crashes into the ocean.
Sometimes.
And that's okay.
Alright, yeah. Let everyone do what they're used to. Yeah.
Back up, buddy.
Aw.
You were really spot on with everyone's jobs.
Now that things are settling down a bit, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Come on, let's talk about your future.
What are you going to do,
The doctor's
Steven?
in. The first session is free.
And I love their laughter.
Hey.
It sounds just like screaming.
Aw.
I think the
That's very
kids really
disturbing.
like me too. I've never been this happy.
Yeah, so it wasn't all bad for
No, we
Steven.
forgot Onion!
What the?
He's fine.
Yeah. It exploded. By the way, can I just say, I love the detail that on the slope. I love the detail that on the slope you can still see the craters where Spinel punctured into the mountainside. Okay, another good episode. Another good episode. Man, I like the mystery that we have going on with this pink state. Like, what is it? And the fact that it can transfer over even to the fusions. The fact that Smokey was able to use it too. That was interesting. Yeah, that was interesting. I like. This was a good episode, I have to say. It was good that, Steven came around to Amethyst's idea as being a legitimately good idea, but at the same time, what he did wasn't completely wrong because it did help the creepy gem that likes screaming. So I did like that. It was sort of like, it wasn't all just, well, Amethyst is right and Steven is wrong. It's like, no, well, mostly, yes, Amethyst is right, but also there was some merit into what Steven was saying. It's just that this didn't happen to work out right now. So, yeah. So the first thing I wrote down is Bixby? I think that's what they said that gem was, who was helping with the pizza. That was clever, and I like, it's completely made to perfection. Everything is sliced right, and it's all the proper angles and lengths and stuff like that. I like that. That was fun. Let's see. I did write down on brand Steven's complaint that everyone was sort of just sticking on brand to what they did on Homeworld, which, to be fair, is sort of a valid complaint, with what Amethyst was doing, was that it seemed like at the beginning she hadn't thought everything through, and it's like, well, you're just making them do whatever they did on Homeworld, Next you're going to be telling me, we might as well have Pearl just, go around being some guy's stooge, basically. But it does make sense with what Amethyst was trying to do, the mentor program, basically. That it made sense, because this is what they wanted to do. The Rubies wanted to be guards, Bixby wanted to cut things, the ice gem wanted to, create ice and, give ice, snow cones to them. So it made sense. So I did like that sort of back and forth, and, when Steven was like, hey, why don't you guys all go outside of your comfort zone and try something? And it all completely going to hell because they're not meant for it. They are literally not cut out for it. They are gems that are not cut out for it. But it was interesting, it made sense to let them try, but at the same time, Amethyst, what Amethyst was doing made more sense, especially when she, completely explained it. So yeah, and I like that, there wasn't, like, it didn't take long. Basically, I did like that, Steven found Amethyst and she was just sitting there, just waiting. Like, she knew this would all go to hell, and she was just there sipping on her, snow cone, and she was just waiting for Steven to come around. And she didn't, really hold it against him or anything, which I did like. She was like, okay, you learned your lesson, let's go. So, I did like that. That was interesting. And then the two of them fusing into Smoky Quartz, which I have to say, fusion is really simple now. Like, before it was, a dance. You had to do an actual dance in order to fuse. This time, Steven jumped, and then she jumped, and they just united hands, and then they fused. It's like, that was a little fast, I have to say, unless you count them jumping as the dance, but I don't feel like it should count. What kind of dance was that? So yeah, I will say that it's incredibly fast the way they did that, but I suppose you could also argue that with Garnet. Both times they've shown how Garnet has fused, with Ruby saving Sapphire and Sapphire saving Ruby. It's just been the fact that one of them jumps into the other, and that's what causes them to fuse. So And I suppose you could also say it's also partially because Steven and Amethyst have fused before. So, like, that's why, you know, it's like getting easier for them. The more they fuse, the more the easier it gets. You could make an argument of that, but whatever. But yeah, I did like, you know, Smokey going around and trying to save everyone. I thought that was interesting. And then we got that pink state back, which was interesting. Yeah, Steven's pink state from last episode came back, and this time, it must be something like it comes in a response to a need. Last episode, he needed to be more offensively capable against Jasper. This time, Smoky Quartz needed to be faster. So, and she was incredibly fast. I mean, she was like the Flash, just like walking around, and like people were in super slow motion. So that's interesting. This does lend a bit more mystery to the pink state, which I like. I kind of like this mystery going through. I'm wondering, I have to assume that this will all sort of culminate in the finale in episode 10, when, or maybe even sooner than that, when I don't know, I want to figure out what is this pink state? What's going on with it? I want to know. So yeah. I did write down the screaming guy. That guy, it's creepy. You know, it's like, I love to hear the screams of humans. It's like, what the fuck were you doing before? Like, I mean, well, that's the thing too. It's like, you know, before he said he was just sculpting he was making ice sculptures basically for the diamonds. It's like, what on earth does that have to do with, you know, the screams of humans that you enjoy? It's like maybe that, you know, because he was like, you know, scratching the ice to sculpt it really fast. It's like, God knows what he used, like if he used that offensively and heard those screams. Ugh, but whatever. And then we did have the question at the end, what will Steven do? You know, Amethyst has now kind of found her purpose. You know, her purpose is basically helping other gems find their purpose, which is, you know, it's good, it's nice, and I like that we already have, like, Amethyst, like, A, has found something, and B, found it immediately, and pretty much on her own, too. I do like that. It shows, you know, the growth of the character over the show. You know, that it's like, oh, she immediately found her own purpose, you know? So, I did like that. And the fact that, you know, Amethyst was right in this episode, because Amethyst, throughout the show, it's not that, you know, she was wrong most of the time, but she was the one where it's like, okay, you know, she has these harebrained, you know, schemes, and it's like, they don't always work out, you know? We need more of the wisdom of Garnet or Pearl. Hell, even more Garnet than Pearl, and then Amethyst, and then Steven. So the fact that she figured this all out on her own and she knew straight up that when Steven took over, that it was going to literally blow up in his face, and she just sat there and waited. And the fact that she didn't blow up about this, you know, she didn't take this, you know, she didn't take this super personally. She didn't get mad about this. She just kind of stepped back and basically waited for Steven to fail. And then when he did, and when he came back, you know, she was completely willing to help. It's like, all right, he apologized. That's the end of it. Let's go help these people. So, you know, a really great Amethyst episode when you really, you know, stop and think about it. But yeah, what will Steven do with the future? Steven Universe future, you know? What is he going to do? What is his purpose, you know? We thought it was, well, he's going to have his happily ever after, but Spinel kind of ended that. And so it's like, what is he going to do? It's not going to be a happily ever after, but what is he going to do with his life now? You know, that's kind of what we need to know. Also, just as a quick side note, that's how you say words, excuse me. Just as a quick side note, because I just referenced Spinel again, she's got to come back sometime, right? Right? She's my favorite character. I love Spinel. I hope she comes back, man. But it's okay. These 2 episodes didn't need Spinel, and these 2 episodes, you know, I've recorded them back to back, so like maybe 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes after I recorded episode 1, I'm recording this. So these episodes have been pretty solid, actually. I suppose you could call them sort of filler episodes, but honestly, technically the whole show this season, Steven Universe Future, is the epilogue of everything. Even though Steven Universe the movie was kind of like that, but Steven Universe Future is basically the epilogue, the final conclusion. But we don't really know what we're supposed to be building up to. And the fact is, what we do know is this is after the Diamonds, after Spinel. We're still, helping everyone get adjusted to life. And that is basically, what we're doing. We have to deal with, helping these gems, whether it's through little homeschool or finding jobs, or Jasper with training, which we didn't get any of that this episode, but I'm sure we're going to get more. And the fact that this season has now introduced the mystery of the pink state, which I'm very curious about. So yeah, honestly, it's like you could say this is filler, but it makes sense with where we are in the show now. So yeah, I really liked this episode. I thought this was a really solid episode, a great Amethyst episode, definitely. Which I know we've had great Amethyst episodes, I just can't think of them off the top of my head. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Tomorrow we will watch episode 3. So with all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Steven Universe Future reactions, you can click on the playlist. You can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon, follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.